Good morning and welcome to our STA416 video presentation. In this project, our group will introduce the title of our study, the purpose and objective of our data collection, and finally share the key findings and conclusion. We hope this presentation provides a clear and meaningful overview of our work. And today, our project title is gonna be statistic about the number of registered cars. But the first thing, let me introduce to my group member. And the first one is my friend Adam Daniel bin Muhammad Rosman. And the second one is me, Rainal Era. So let's start with our project introduction. Cars play a major role in our life by providing convenience, independence, and freedom. Owning a car allows a person to be self reliant without relying on public transport, and many see it as an important achievement. Whether it's long distance travel, daily commuting, or simple errands, cars offer a level of flexibility that few other transports options can match. This is why many Malaysians take loan to afford a car, and since 2000, more than 25 million petrol vehicles have been registered with JPJ. And right now, let's start with our main objective. The first one is to learn what is the number of registered cars by state. New cars are registered every month, and we want to determine how often car registration occur within a month. The second one is to compare the volume and variability of new car registration between states and across months. The third one is to describe how the number of new car registration correlates on both the state in which they register and the month in which they occur. Right now we're gonna go to the data collection, and this will be presented by my friend Adam Daniel. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Adam Daniel, and I will be explaining about the calculations part of our group project. So we have like three data from like three different months. First is data from January 2025. Second is data from February 2025, and the third one is data from March 2025. And this is the result of the data that we got from the data.gov.my. And this is the number of registered cars in each month for each states. So now for the calculations for this January. So this is the mean, and the formula to calculate mean is sum of fx over sum of f. So as you can see here, I put all the data inside it already, and the mean result that we got from for January is 1732.143, and this is the median. And we use the median formula, and this is the result that we got for the median 1125 for January. This is the mode, and the result for the mode that we got using the formula for mode is 450. And this is the standard deviation. We use cert and and just put the formula inside it. And the standard deviation that we got for the January is 2369.10. And after we got standard deviation, we can calculate the skewness. So we got from the mean and the mode that we got earlier, just minus it and divide it by standard deviation. And the skewness that we got is 0.541. All right, lastly, for our coefficient of variation, now that we got our standard deviation, we can also calculate our coefficient of variation. So the formula is very simple, like standard deviation divided by mean times 100%. So as you can see, I have put the standard deviation divided by mean and then times by 100%. And then the coefficient of variation that we got for January is 136.772%. Now for our calculation on February, it's basically just using the same formula but with different data. So the mean that we got by using the mean formula is 571.429. And then the median for February, we got 477.423. I mean, 477.273. And then the mode that we got is after calculating and put the data in the formula that we got is 412.50. For standard deviation for February, we got 406.4217. And then just like January, after we got our standard deviation, we can count our skewness and our coefficient of variation. So for our skewness is mean minus mode over standard deviation, and then we got our skewness, which is 0.39. And for the coefficient of variation, standard deviation over mean times 100% is 71.1237%. So that is our calculation for February. And for the calculations for March, I'm not gonna explain to detail, but it's basically the same thing. Our mean is 803.571. Median is 583.33. Mode is 482.14. Standard deviation is 817.08. And our skewness is 0.393. And our coefficient of variation is 101.68%. So that's our calculation for March. Next is our interesting findings. So registrations of vehicles in January high of 1732.143 plunged to 571.429 in February, then rebounded to 803.571. Factors such as Chinese New Year holidays affecting dealer and JPJ processes, approved permit supply fluctuations, import license quotas issued on a rolling basis, so some months see more permits while some have less permits. So manufacturers oftentimes measure model rollouts and aggressive discounts around the start of the calendar year, which is January, and ahead of fiscal quarters, boosting registrations in January and again in March when new season offers kick in. And our next interesting findings is that January's registrations varied widely across states with coefficient of variation of 137%. February saw much tighter clustering with coefficient of variation of 71%, and March variability widened again with coefficient of variation of 102%. And then we also found out that all months are right skewed with like a skewness of 0.39 to 0.54. That means that a few states with very high registrations pulled the averages above the medians. And as you can see from the data, Kuala Lumpur, Johor, and Selangor consistently have much higher registration compared to other states.
So right now let's go for the conclusion from our data. The first one is the 3-month registration data are positively skewed due to a handful of high volume states and saw a sharp dip in February followed by a modest rebound in March. The February slump likely reflects holiday related delays like Chinese New Year and tighter permit quotas, while March uptick corresponds to end of quarter reporting surge and fresh dealer promotions. State-to-state variability underscore persistent regional imbalance in market demand and administrative capacity. And the last one is tracking these short-term patterns highlights the value of combining statistical indicators with on-the-ground factors such as holiday calendars, permit allocation, and sales incentive to inform more responsive licensing policies and target industry strategies. So that's all from our group today. Thank you for listening.